The liberal media freaking out after getting just a tiny taste of censorship. Elon Musk going on a late-night massacre, temporarily suspending the accounts of at least a half a dozen left-wing reporters from the New York Times, CNN, and the Washington Post. He even gave a little timeout to the guy who used to be Keith Olbermann. Musk claims they doxed him, putting out what he calls assassination coordinates by sharing an account that tracks his private jet in real time. The billionaire points to an incident in L.A. this week where a stalker jumped on the top of his car that his kid was in and said this.
Showing real-time information about somebody's location is inappropriate, and I think everyone on this call would not like that to be done to them. And there is not going to be any distinction in the future between journalists, so-called journalists, and regular people. Everyone's going to be treated the same. You're not special because you're a journalist.
AOC is really mad, saying this. I get feeling unsafe, but descending into abuse of power and erratically banning journalists only increases the intensity around you. Take a beat and lay off the proto-fascism. Maybe try putting down your phone. And the same media that yawned at the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story are all of a sudden melting down. Watch.
This seems really scary. Okay.
The chaos, the ego, the insults, and the fact that he is bringing down an institution. And the Twitter is not the Republican Party, but it certainly feels like we're in the dying days of this platform unless something changes quickly.
I think this raises a big question about what the free press, what the future of the free press on Twitter looks like.
I worry about the chilling effect that this might have on those reporters, particularly when you think that Musk also owns these other companies, Tesla and SpaceX. What if you're in Germany or elsewhere and you're reporting on maybe poor working conditions? Is he going to come and just stamp you down because he says, oh, that's against the rules?
Jessica Tarloff cannot wait to talk about this story. What would you like to say?
I would like to say that I think that Elon Musk needs a content moderation team, that he needs the Trust and Safety Council to come back so that people could actually see that there were folks and not just one man deciding that because his feelings got hurt or he felt unsafe, even though that Elon jet account is just publicly available information, right? So let's be clear about that. And that assassination attempt on his child, and it is very scary for someone to climb on top of a car that has your kid in there. He didn't report it to the police, which seems strange. And then Donnie O'Sullivan, one of the reporters that we just showed, got suspended from Twitter for just tweeting out the fact that the LAPD had said that he didn't file a report. It had nothing to do with his coordinates, nothing to do with an assassination at all. And the transition from Republicans being up in arms about preserving the First Amendment to, cry harder, libs, is really something to behold. So he changes the terms of service a couple days ago to shut down the jet tracker, which he had explicitly said, I'm never going to shut down. And the new terms of service are so vague that, Jesse, if I took your picture right now.
Yeah.
And I
Hold on. Now try it.
Can I have your good side, though?
Yeah. My good side is that side.
And I posted it on Twitter. The geolocation of that would qualify as a violation of the terms and service. So I could be suspended for Twitter for harming you, for taking a picture of you right now and using just what's in this app.
So she's complaining the terms of service are vague and arbitrary?
No,
That's so funny.
But he just changed it. No, I'm not done.
Oh, please, continue.
He's suspending people who are aggravating him, who are hurting his feelings, like Lynette Lopez from Business Insider, who's been looking into him for years because of Tesla. That's a company that she covers. She just got suspended for putting up old information about him, about the fact that Elon Musk actually has a habit of doxing people that he doesn't like from the past. She's off. If you care about the First Amendment, you should all be up in arms about this, especially the fact that he doesn't even have a committee of people paying attention.
So what's the content moderation team going to do? So if you publish that picture of Jesse, is that moderation team then going to explore?
He doesn't have one.
The intent of your posting of that picture? Yeah. So I would take it a step further. Just be transparent with the rules. So obviously what he's decided, and he did tweet this out, it's amazing how none of these journalists actually reference back to this. But Elon Musk said any account doxing real-time information on anyone will be suspended because Twitter considers that a physical safety violation, including posting links to sites with real-time location info. He said on a slightly delayed basis, you will not be banned for that. So this is real-time information. So fine, have the content moderation team, but have the rules spell the rules out and reference back to them when somebody is banned. And I don't think anybody will take issue with somebody running a company who makes those decisions. The one-off decisions by Elon Musk is what everybody's taking issue with and the subjective nature of them.
So, Jessica, your sales pitch to us here today is that Elon Musk should adopt a content moderation team because it would somehow be less arbitrary and less opaque than what we've lived under for the past 4 or 5 years. Twitter had a content moderation team, and it silenced people for any host of reasons they wanted at any given moment or any given suggestion by the FBI. And not just conservatives.
No.
How about Dr. Jay Bhattacharya of Stanford University, who happened to push back on the latest COVID orthodoxy? What you're suggesting is let's go back to the way it was. I'm not going to sit here to tell you today that Elon Musk exercising arbitrary power is perfect, but please don't sell me that what we had before was better. I believe in free speech, and I think more speech is always better. Elon says his line is doxing. And he also says, by the way, his plane information was not public, that it was private.
But that's not true.
Well, let me update you on that, because the FAA gives Elon a new plane identifier every month because of threats to his safety. But this guy, this Musk tracker, wrote software to hack it so he can get around that. So it's not just publicly available information. The guy's a creep.
Sure. Okay. But if you are trying to assassinate Elon Musk or to steal his child, which is what he's alleging, you know how to get that information besides just going on Twitter and clicking on what Elon Jet has to say.
It's
and I would
publicly
add
available.
that Bellingcat did an investigation of the
let's
location
not make it
of
easier to
the
do
car,
on
and it wasn't
a
at an
platform
airport.
that he owns, right? Just like you wouldn't want people to know where you were at every. Actually, they know where you are at 6 o'clock every single day. But besides that, you don't want that, Dagan.
I just love the bawling and baying and howling and hauling of these journalists who ignored all of these Twitter files, like the New York Times. It was right on the webpage about Musk and Twitter and banning the journalists. They haven't covered these Twitter file dumps at all. Washington Post, all of them. The nefarious going-ons, the censorship, the election interference, nary a peep. But now this is newsworthy because they're the story. I love it. But I am not surprised. The only thing I'm surprised about with Elon Musk is that he didn't start doing this sooner. He spent $44 billion on this money-losing sewage lagoon. And do you know, Jesse, you understand this. Do you know how badly people whine and behave when they pay for a full-price first-class airline ticket? So can you imagine spending $44 billion on this heap of crap? So he's selling Tesla stock to prop it up. He sold more than $3.5 billion in Tesla stock recently. $23 billion worth of Tesla stock this year. Tesla stock fell 16% in the last 5 days. It's at like a multi-year low, and he's got to extract some pleasure out of this nightmare. So, you know, what's the point of having all that money if you can't throw your weight around and banish some people you find irksome? That's all he's doing. Right now, he's a benevolent king. Wait until he really starts going after people he doesn't like. Listen, we know how, like, crazy rich people can act. He's not anywhere close to Howard Hughes. Yeah.
So now it's just.
I, for one, vote that we bring back Keith Olbermann immediately, along with a live stream of his reaction over the past 24 hours.
They should all be brought
My man has been fired from every job he's ever had, and now he's getting fired from jobs he hasn't had.
I get that it's funny to make fun of Keith Olbermann, but I just want to be clear before we go to break that we have moved from savior of the First Amendment to sort of decent, whatever, dictator, and that's cool?
No. I think all of these people should be brought back on the platform, but it's not, in Elon's world, it's not really free speech, it's spee-freach.
Oh, I guess I didn't get that memo, and now I completely understand what's going on.
She's saying that it comes back in 7 days. They'll be back.
Yeah,
and they broke the rule. They knew the rule. They broke the rule. They're suspended, and they'll come back.
Right, but at least.
Is that so bad? Now they know the rules, so they won't break them again.
If it is supposed to be the public
What about rules
square,
and norms that Kamala always talks about? We have to have rules and norms,
Oh,
Jessica.
that's a fun device. Now we'll start talking about Kamala Harris, and then we won't deal at all with the topic at hand. You'll be like, why hasn't she been to the border? We're talking about Elon Musk.
Musk walked off an interview with me
Can I
years
ask one
ago.
quick question before we go?
Wait,
Why did these suspensions matter, but the ones for the past 4 years didn't?
They did matter, and so we read the Twitter files, and we did read them, and they were covered. And the problem is people didn't like the coverage because there was nothing to it. Jerry Baker from the Wall Street Journal wrote about it. He said the reason that people aren't up in arms about this is because it's things we already know. Trey Gowdy said it. I was on a special report with him early in the week.
It's things we assumed, but now we have proof.
I'm sorry.
And the proof is in the pudding.
Spell out the rationale. We saw it. We saw the back and forth about why Donald Trump was suspended, right? It was people having a real debate, people who actually cared about, inciting a riot, but also
This is the hill you want to die on, doxing people?
Yeah.
What?
Come on.
Are you
You're
guys
better
kidding me?
You're better than that.
Maybe I'm not.
Can I say that Can I say one quick thing? He walked off an interview with me.
That's why she's mad.
And he took his mic off and threw it down. And we were taping the interview, and I've called him a jerk for years. So he could make amends. I'm just letting.
He being Elon.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
How would you like him to make amends?
He can come on Fox and do an interview.
Okay, there you heard it.
On Dagan's new show.
Dagan's new show.
No, he can come on any show.
Okay, so prime time. Got it. Thanks, Dagan.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.